What's up, strong team? Today we're going to cover the double kettlebell front squat. It's actually one of my favorite types of squats to do. I really like having two bells in the rack position. I really like it. For some reason, the weight distribution, getting down into the squat seems a little bit easier for me. I like the hold rather than the goblet squat. As far as how to do a double front squat, I'm going to get the bells in position. You can either have the V formation with your thumbs going in and the backs of your hands facing each other, or you can do the opposite and have the handles straight, vertical, and have your thumbs going back. So every time the bells go between my legs, I really need to focus on my shoulders being rolled back and my lats engaged. And when I hike these kettlebells back and I get them up into the rack position, I need my shoulders to be pinched, my shoulder blades pinched together, and my shoulder blades back and down. I don't want to have the bells anywhere near my face. I don't want to have the kettlebells near the center of my body. I need these forearms nice and vertical and elbows in. So, however you want to grab the bells is fine. Like I said, vertical or a V formation, but you're focusing on those shoulders being rolled back and down. So, I'm going to get these kettlebells up into the rack position. Once they're up, I'm focusing on keeping my core nice and tight, my forearms relatively vertical. We don't want to have our elbows flared out. We also don't want to have the bells anywhere near the center of our body because we don't want to bang our fingers together, and we want the weight off to the side just a little bit. So think about forearms nice and vertical, wrists nice and straight. We don't want any limp wrists, knuckles to the ceiling, and I should feel the bell digging into my forearm. So as far as your stance goes, you want your feet underneath your body. So even though I have a wide stance when I clean them, I am going to narrow myself a little bit more in my squat, but I want to keep my feet turned out. I don't want them straight. I want to open up my knees. So I'm going to pull myself down and take a deep breath in through the nose. As I lower myself down, I'm trying to go at least parallel with my butt behind my knees or a little lower. And I'm thinking about my knees being pushed out. I'm going to exhale and squeeze on the way up. From a side profile, feet underneath my body, toes turned out so my knees can trace my toes. I don't want to let my knees buckle in. I'm going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to pull my butt down and back. I'm going to break parallel or be parallel, that's fine. And then I'm going to exhale and squeeze and come up into the high plank position. Breathe in, try to keep my core engaged. Elbows are going to flare forward a little bit. I'm going to exhale and drive. My elbows are going to flare forward as I descend down. I'll stay this angle. My elbows are going to flare forward just a little bit as I descend down, but I don't want to cheat and use my shoulders. So don't let your elbows come out as you lower, because when all you're doing is lifting the bell with your shoulders, you're not holding on to them with your grip strength and your forearm strength. So clean the bells. Elbows in, forearms vertical. I'm going to adjust my stance, get a little bit more narrow. I'm thinking about pushing my knees out and keeping my bells tight in the rack. Get deep into the hole. Exhale. Push myself out of the hole. Pull myself down. Exhale. And tighten. When I'm thinking about lowering my body to the ground, I sit into the hole. That's a strong first term. I'm just trying to pull myself down into the ground as opposed to passively dropping myself down. I want to control the movement down just as much as I control the movement up. So I'm going to I'll pull myself down, keeping my back nice and straight, shoulders rolled back, elbows in. I'm going to keep my knees pushing out as I come up. So I'll grab a lower weight. Common mistakes on the way down People can buckle in. On the way up, people can buckle up. I want to control these knees and have them trace my toes. So I'll take a step back so you can see my feet. I want my knees pushed out and then staying out as I come up. I am controlling this movement up and down. From a side profile, another mistake is a butt wink. That's me going a little too low into my squat, and everybody is different. Somebody like Coach Neil can get really deep into a squat and not have much of a butt wink. Somebody like me, I can get a butt wink fairly easy. So, I'm gonna clean the bells. I'm gonna go down as low as I can without getting that butt wink. If I go any lower, my tailbone is gonna curl down, and this is not good. So I wanna make sure I don't go that low. Somewhere around here looks good for me. Here, too low. Here is good. Here is not good enough. Exhale, up. Squeeze and push myself up. Trying to get the ground away from you.